Hi, you guys. It's Karen with Love Your Land, and whew, I wanted to get another video out to you guys as soon as possible, and I just get really busy, and I haven't done one since Super Bowl Sunday, and so I figured out today what I was going to do, and I had time, and I had it all mapped out in my head, and then about half an hour ago, I discovered that Sharon with Simply Canning posted my very first article on her website. So I'm like shaking right now. I know it seems silly. It's just an article, and it's not, it's really a really basic article too. But for me, it's a big deal, and she did such an incredibly beautiful job formatting it, and the pictures she took from my Facebook, the ones that she chose, and just the way she laid it all out. I don't even know what went into it. I didn't know it was going to be on today. She says she normally will tell me ahead of time. She forgot in this case, which was probably a good thing because I didn't get all nervous about it. But anyway, I wanted to give her a humongous shout out and thank you so much, Sharon. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read it again, even though I already know what it says. Anyway, so today's video is going to be kind of a menagerie of things, and I just wanted to do it real quick and get it out there because there's kind of like some announcements, and well, that was one. And then a couple of little how-to things that are fun. The first thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't put anything about a seed giveaway in the title of this video or in the description or anything. And that's because I don't want people who, that sounds bad, but the folks that aren't yet subscribers, I don't want people just searching for seed giveaway at this point because I'm not ready. I haven't made 2,500 of these again yet. So what I'm talking about is, I don't know if you remember the other day, I had, Baker Creek had posted my seed giveaway video on their Facebook page, which was incredible. The only downside is we kind of did it a little bit late in the game, and so now I'm getting this mass rush of people sending their self-addressed stamped envelopes, and so I was talking to them, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think maybe, what do you think about doing a round two? Because I think I'm going to get overloaded or overwhelmed with people sending me envelopes now thinking that there's all these seeds and they're all gone, and they were like, absolutely. So, not kidding, they sent me another whole box of seeds. This has been crammed into a smaller box, but this is another box of seeds that's enough for 500 people again. So I know I'm crazy. I'm going to do it all over again, but that'll just give the people that I already have, I meant to bring them over here to show you, but I have more envelopes right now on Wednesday than I do seed packets left, or seed sets, I should say. That's what I'm calling these. So yeah, I'm going to have to go into my own seed drawer and start dishing those out, but I don't have to now because they sent me another whole round. So they are even more awesome than ever. Anyway, so if you want to go ahead, if you missed out on the first round and you want to send in your self-addressed stamped envelope, go ahead and do that, as long as you understand that it's going to take a couple of weeks for me to get these done. Actually, not this weekend, but next weekend. I have a whole assembly line of teenagers going to help me put these all together. So, yeah, so go ahead and send your envelope if you want to. Just know that it's going to take a couple, I don't know, we'll say 3 weeks for me to send them out. It'll probably be less than that, but you never know. Oh, also, am I louder? Can you guys hear me? Yay! I'm probably totally blasting your ears now. Turns out there's a volume control on the, I don't need this yet. There's a volume control on the base of my microphone unit. I didn't know that. Anyway, so yesterday I posted a picture of a very sprouted potato that I found in my basement. Actually, I didn't just find it. Every time I go down there, there's this box on my canning shelving, and there's all these sprouts coming out of it because they just, I guess I didn't preserve them correctly because it's dark down there. I don't know why they would have started sprouting so soon, but and it didn't just start sprouting. To give you an idea, this isn't even the longest one. I don't know if you can see that, but the tip is here. And then there's, let me put it down here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these. It looks like aliens crawling out of this box. But I have one here that I'm going to show you what I did with it, and then I found another one that was sprouted, not too bad. I mean, not too much. You can still plant this, absolutely, but I'm going to wait until I can put them in my little potato bin things outside. These guys I want to start inside because they're smaller, and so here's the disclaimer. I've never started potatoes inside before. But since I have a whole box of them, I thought, why not? You know, it'll be fun. We'll see what happens. I got an idea from, I don't remember where, online to plant them the way I'm going to show you. But the typical way to plant potatoes is you buy seed potatoes. You can sometimes use ones from the grocery store, although they typically are sprayed with a growth inhibitor. So probably isn't going to work. But what you normally would do is you would go to your garden center or you order them online and you buy what's called seed potatoes. And they're different from regular potatoes in some way, but I'm not even sure how. And I bet most of you don't know exactly how they're different either. But if you do know, post a comment. But anyway, they have little tiny buds on them here and there. And what you do is you cut them into chunks. So there's one eye, at least one, 1 to 3 eyes per piece. And then you plant them in, let's say you're doing a container. You're going to plant them in the container with just about this much soil. And then as the plants grow up, you're going to add soil, backfill, so to speak, up along the stem, never burying the leaves, of course, but building up the soil that way. And you're going to have your big plant, and it's going to be the prettiest plant you've ever owned, and then it's going to flower, and then all of a sudden it's just going to croak. And you're like, oh no, that's when you harvest. That's when you start digging in there and finding potatoes. You can actually start finding them in there earlier. I have what are called, I don't know what they're called. But anyway, they're made out of that, some sort of material. I don't know what it is, but it's sort of fibrous, but it's very sturdy. And they're about like this big around and about that tall. And they have a harvest flap on them. So I can be reaching in there and carefully taking out potatoes during the summer before the whole plant has finished up. The other way you can do it is just right in the ground. In the ground or in your raised bed. That's what I did last year. And I'm not going to do that again this year because it just was so much work, and the yield didn't match my efforts. Let's put it that way. So I find that these potato bins that I have, I'll include a picture here at the end of this video, but I get just as much from them, and I put, by the way, about 3 pieces of potato in there, and I get tons. So. And they're really easy to care for. Just add, make sure you have good amended soil, compost, whatever. Anyway, today what we're going to do is we're going to start these guys inside. Come spring, when I can put them out, they can be put out earlier, but the soil has to be, just for the potatoes to plant them, the soil has to be like 55 degrees, I think. And even though it's been warm here, it's not going to stay that way. It's only February. So I'm not even going to bother chancing it. But probably... I'm going to guess beginning of May, I'll be able to actually put these outside in the ground. They will have plants on them, so I'll still have to be careful about that. It's not just the potato underground now that I have to worry about. But anyway, here's what we're going to do. This is probably so loud. Sorry. I'm going to take 2. I've never had this much trouble opening a paper bag before. 2 paper bags. Put one right inside the other. Okay. The reason for that is this is going to get wet, so it makes it a little stronger. Now I'm going to add some soil, or my sterile soil coir vermiculite mixture. Actually, this doesn't have vermiculite, it's perlite, whatever. I'm just going to add about maybe a little bit more. Okay, so that's about to there. So whatever that is, 3 or 4 inches. Okay, now I'm going to take my little, this is called, I don't know how to say it. I, for the life of me, cannot figure it out. I can't find it online. My garden center guy didn't know how to say it. Anyway, chitting, is that right? Almost sounds like a bad word. When you, the act of sprouting a potato to prepare it for gardening is called chitting, or however you say that. And so these have been chitted. That's what that would technically be. So you're going to plant these. This is where the growth is going to come out of. These are not roots. These are sprouts. Sprouts go up, roots go down. So this goes like this into this little bag. So put him in there, and then I'm going to bury him with just 2 or 3 inches of soil. And I'm going to keep the soil nice and loose. Again, like potatoes, onions, carrots, potatoes, anything that grows underground, you want it to have light, fluffy soil. That's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do this right now because I have to rearrange this a little bit. I'm going to water this a little. This is already kind of moist. I'm not going to add a ton of water. And then you're going to want to water them about once a week, maybe more often if they dry out real fast. And I'm going to keep them, I don't know if you can see, I'm pointing over there. These trays that I have my seedlings on, these are going to get transplanted pretty soon. And so these trays are going to be available. And if I run out of these, then I'll use something else. But this bag, when I water it, obviously it's going to leak. And it's going to start to break down. So you're going to kind of want to put these wherever they're going to stay while they're in the house. Then, when it's warm enough, I'm going to take this whole bag. So this is how I'm going to transplant these guys. I'm going to take this whole bag, and I am going to put these guys in the ground, and put these in the raised beds with the paper, because it's just going to break down. I'll probably, well, depending on how tall they get, I'll probably cut off some of the top. But, yeah, pretty cool, huh? So that's that. That was the potato demo. Or whatever, how to. The next thing I'm going to do is something I have never done, and that is transplant teensy-weensy seedlings. But the reason I'm doing it is because this one that I selected, I know you can't see it over there, but it has tons of root hairs on it. And a bunch of these do. These taller ones, they have tons of root hairs. So I'm just going to take these guys. Normally I wait till they're about that big, so almost double the size. And what I'm thinking is that if I transplant them now, this is going to be able to sit down almost all the way to its little neck up here. And as most of you know, or some of you know at least, tomatoes and a little bit with peppers, wherever you bury that stem, it's going to grow roots out of anything that's buried under the soil. So, bigger, stronger root system, healthier, stronger plant. So since these guys are a little stretched, they're a little stretched, aka leggy, but they have all these root hairs. So I don't think they're in too bad a shape. And the rule of thumb is you wait till they have their second set of leaves, and these technically do. Second set of true leaves, excuse me. Down here, if you can kind of see, there's these little guys that are like falling off and dying. Those are the seed leaves. We're actually just going to take those off gently because you don't want to bury any foliage under the dirt. And so that's my theory. These may be sacrificial tomato plants. I don't know, but I have plenty, so it's okay. And I don't need that much soil in there at all. So to transplant them, just and the other thing is I'm using these semi-clear glasses. There's actually real clear spots up here, or cups, so that I can see when they start, see their root systems, and that way I'll know if they're getting too root bound, because I'm not going to separate these guys either right now because they're so tiny. Once they're a little bigger, I do separate them in the same pot. I leave them in the same pot, like 2, 3, 4 even will stay in the same larger pot for a little while, and then I pot them up and pot them up and pot them up. But these guys, I don't think I should be messing with them any more than I already am. So what we do, make a mess on your table, is I only have about an inch of soil down there. That's all you need. So luckily I've just watered these, so they're going to be nice and messy. You don't want to handle them by the stems, if anything by the leaves, but even in this case, these are too small. So I'm just going to carefully put my hands like this, and I'm going to dump them over. I feel kind of bad doing this. Yeah, look at that. Nice little roots. They're not root bound, but they do have a nice little root system, and this is going to fall apart on me. Nope, we did it. Okay, so these are a little small, these pots, or cups, I should say. I would have rather have had them a little bigger. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you try this, you have to be really careful because I could look at this wrong and break that stem right now. So I won't look at them wrong. But I'm going to add a little soil here, jiggle it in, and over here, same thing. So when I transplant these again, because obviously a tomato plant cannot survive in a pot that small once it's big, the next time I transplant these, I will bury them even deeper. Because again, this was the only clear cup I had. This is the biggest thing I had for a clear cup. So I would have actually buried those all the way down another inch if I could, but I can't. But we're going to see how these do. These are the Romas, and I'll show you the progress. If they die, I'll let you know. But I want to know if this will work, because this will make them much stronger, much quicker. And as you can see, or not, I don't know if you can see, pretty much almost all of my seedlings are stretched, a little leggy. I told you guys before in another video, it happens to me every year. These blinds are only closed because we're doing a video. But if I open these right now and you saw how much light comes in here, and they have 2 grow lights that are right on top of them, that's all I can do. And they make it, and they survive, and I get plenty of tomatoes. So, but it's not okay to just have them in a south-facing window and hope for the best. I mean, if that's all you can do, that's all you can do, but they are going to be, they're not going to do well. So anyway, that's my little Roma friends. We'll see how they do. I'm going to water this in. Oh, another thing. I am going to give them a little more water here, not much because I just watered. But I'm not going to put this back under the light right now. I'm going to put these 2 little plants out of direct sunlight, and I'm going to leave them out of direct sunlight, actually in another room, a dark room, for a day or 2, because when you transplant, they go through a little shock, right? We all know that. So you want to keep them out of the light while they're going through that transition. Just let them kind of chill, have a little time out, think about what they've done. No, they didn't do anything wrong. And then after it's been a day or 2, then go ahead and put them back under the lights like normal. And that's it for now. I'm sure there's something else I wanted to talk about, but I'm so giddy from posting my article, I can't think straight. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. I'll talk to you soon, and have a great night.